Hi, I'm Deborah Price, and this is Conversations About Money. And today I am with Julia Schnellbach. And Julia is a wonderful certified money coach. Julia, we met just about a year ago. And I was in Bad Aibling, Germany, and we were getting to know each other because I happened to be staying at the Airbnb that your parents had. And you were so kind and generous. And I wanted to do something for you. And so I offered to coach you. And at that point in time, you'd never even heard of money coaching. So just tell me a little bit about, first of all, it was just very brave of you, but what was it like for you to be having this totally strange woman you'd never met suddenly telling me your whole story about money?
So when we met and you presented the opportunity to do the money coaching process with me, I instantly felt extremely curious. And I also understand the curiosity was there for a reason. It helped me to make a decision. And this decision was already planned. I have no doubt that it was, we met for many, many reasons.
Yeah.
And it was really like a clear sign for me that this is something to be discovered, and that the coaching process really holds a tremendous treasure for me. And but this was more and more revealed within the process. There was no difficulty or there was no resistance to start with to do the money coaching process. However, when it came down to like really talking about my story, I did feel an energy arising that made me feel quite uncomfortable to share my story, because I never spoke about my history, about my financial history. And it was quite a secret. Not even my closest friends or my family knew like all the details. So I felt quite shy and almost not so, just really uncomfortable to present everything just on the table in like quite a short time. And the reason why I had those emotions was because I felt ashamed about my past. And I thought many things that happened that wasn't my highest decisions that I could have taken in my life. And I felt uncomfortable to talk about those decisions that I've taken. And therefore, it was quite a special journey.
Well, you were very, very courageous to be willing to open up and be so transparent. And what do you think that impulse within you was that said, I'm just going to do this? What was that? What was that for you?
So I've always been an adventurous person, and I do like the unknown because I know there is something very powerful in the unknown and walking the path. Even if you don't know where this is going to or where this is leading to, but there is something on the other side, and there's just an infinite curiosity inside of me. And anything that there is some special frequency, I would say, like if people present you with opportunities that you really deeply down have an impulse that just comes up, and knowing, yes, this is what I want to dive into.
Yeah.
And it was a very strong resonance when I heard money coaching. Even I didn't know exactly where this is leading, where this is bringing me to. But I knew that there was something big coming up for me, because money has been a major element in my life that was a pinpoint around pain. And I knew that I needed to do some work around that if I wanted to grow beyond.
So it was the impulse to want to grow and to transform that really sounds like it. That's the thing that brought you to the place where you were able to, fully do the full work. And I just want to say, for the record, you've done a fabulous job. We always say that, this is work where you presence for people. what their story is. And we have tools and strategies that we use, but you can't make anyone do anything. You know, you bring it to people and your presence for them, and you give them the gift of the work, but not everybody receives it. Not everybody is willing or ready to make the kinds of changes that you have. And so I just want to acknowledge that, number one, because it's a big deal. But also, you know, you're now on the other side, and you'd never, ever thought about becoming a money coach before. So the work impacted you, and then you decided, tell me what that decision-making process was like for you, that you decided to take the leap, and here you are a year later, and, you know, talk to me about those changes.
Doing the core process with you was giving me an awareness of where my blockages were. And finally, after so many years of searching for those, I had a site, like something that I could like hold on to, like something to really like a foundation, something that was like stable, that helped me to start incorporating and bringing this into my in my daily life, like to take on those steps that were discussed and revealed through the process, that were important and necessary to create the reality that I have been always wishing and hoping for, and already had in my mind painted and pictured. So finally, having something visible in my hands gave me the chance to make those changes.
Yeah.
And I was able to create a foundation in my life that made me gain trust again in myself and in life, and also made my own inner strength bringing my own strength to the surface, and really knowing that anything that I want to accomplish, I can do it, but really knowing that I can do it.
Right.
And this revelation that I gained through the process was so profound that it just became clear. I can't just let this be and just like an experience that I had in my life. Because if something is so remarkable, I need to dive in. That's just who I am. Like, I want to go and explore it into the depth. So this is just my being. I want to know everything about it. I want to understand it as much as I can, because if such a short time can have such remarkable and outstanding results, then what more is there? Right. And this more I got to discover by the time continuing with the work, and just feeling how much more beauty and joy was flowing into my life, and knowing I can, by learning and studying the subject more and more and more, share this with others, is like of such tremendous value to me, because I know what it did for me, and I always wanted to be there and provide a space for others to increase their consciousness, to increase their awareness, and to help them heal. And this was just bringing the world of healing, but also the work of like to create a business with that. Was bringing those two worlds together.
Well, and you know, you were already on a path where you knew you wanted to do something to help others. You were already somebody who was looking for a way to be of service, and you had finished yoga teacher training, and you wanted to, you know, and you're a yogini and all of that. So, you know, it was also the intersection of an opportunity for you to really fully express the gift of wanting to be of service and help others. And so I think that, you know, and timing was beautiful in that regard, right? But you did the work, and that's the most important thing. And that's what we want people to know is if you're willing to do it, much can transpire. But it's not easy. And I remember after you came to Portugal and we did the intensive and the shadow workshop, that like, it seemed like that really up to the entire experience in terms of healing some pretty big pieces. Do you want to share anything about that in terms of finding your voice?
Sharing my story, my money story, with a group of people was extremely profound. Even speaking it out loud in front of others was bringing a lot of fear up for me. What are they going to think? My previous choices, how they're going to look at me. And yeah, and I was.
And everybody, by the way, feels this way in the beginning. We're all afraid to talk about, this story, this money story, because somehow we feel we haven't done it right. We don't know what we're doing. We're bad, and so you have all this pain and shame. And so, as they say, the truth will set you free. It's not just a cliche, it's the truth. And so you spoke it fully. And in the end, what did you get from that?
It was extremely important. I had to get it out. It was, of course, important to do this in a specific space, in a space where, you're held and you trust the people. And it was extremely liberating. So I really needed to just speak it out and let this old energy come up and out of me. And when I just spoke it, I already felt immediately like there was a new space inside of me, and the space filled with light. So it's like you really could feel how the shift almost instantly happened in terms of how I felt, from being very anxious and stressed and fearful to becoming more lighter and lighter and really relaxing into the process. And after, when I looked around and I saw people looking at me with compassionate eyes, and even
a lot of tears.
And a lot of tears.
I remember.
It was one of the deepest and most profound moments that I've ever had in my life, because I was so afraid that they would look down at me or judge me in some way. And I just saw how they felt with me and just wanted the best for me, and were feeling my pain. And it was so beautiful to see that the people just cared. And it was making me feel very connected to them, but mostly to myself again.
And what's really amazing is I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I've taught around the world, literally at this point, thousands of people. And it doesn't matter where I'm at, the culture, the country, the language, it doesn't matter. There's always this incredible, profound experience of the shared experience, but also just speaking and talking about this incredible subject of money, which is why I'm doing the show called Conversations About Money, because we need to have these conversations to heal and transform individually and collectively. And, when Julia is talking about her experience, for her, it's, one of the most profound experiences of her life. But I want you to know that that's just what it is almost every time for everyone. It's because it touches this deep shadow place within us that we have felt that we had to hide because we weren't enough, or we were bad, or we had all these judgments either within ourselves or projected out at us. And this has been happening for our entire lives when we've had no place to go with it. And therefore, whatever we have to hide, whatever we are not able to be with and accept, is inherently a shadow aspect of who we are. And so the more you shine light on any of those subjects and you give people the safe space and opportunity to communicate and share what's real for them in a safe space and really finally be seen around all that and loved and really just held in that space, that's where real healing transpires. And so even though we say, oh yeah, this is money coaching, anybody who knows me and knows this work knows it's just a portal. It's a portal, but it's a really important one because money influences every aspect of our lives. You know, we really don't think or use any other source or commodity as much as money other than food. So think about that. And yet very few of us have had the proper training, education, modeling, messaging, and we're all holding so much and there's been no place to go. So I love that you had the courage to do it. You have kept showing up, you're doing the work, and now you're also a coach. So what's it like for you now?
The most important thing that I've learned was really just to make a vow and a commitment. This is what I'm doing. This is how I show up. And I'm doing this because it makes me happy. It fills me up. And I can be there for others in their process. And I can be in service. And just making this one decision and just reminding myself on this decision is really it's really taking and washing out all the doubts that are rising up in the daily life, and bringing in the opportunities to find the people who need to come to you. You're finding the right energy and also allowing really healing to take place. Because if you believe in yourself and you know, this is what I'm doing, there is a higher energy that is supporting you in this process and delivering everything that you need, on a material way or on a energetic level. Like the right people come to you and everything you need, you will get it. And so it was. I had great success and wonderful experiences with people who I've been working with. And most beautiful observations I have made was really that these people, every one of those beautiful souls were really waiting for the entire life to do money coaching. You could really feel it was one of the most important experiences that they have had in their life, of having the opportunity to step into a space where they could share their story, where they are held, where they are accepted, where they're heard, where they are seen, and where they're not judged for who they are and what they have been going through, and the thoughts and the feelings, everything that came with their story, that just being and like sharing who they are was already like very important experience for them. But of course, this is just one part of so many in the process. And I felt how freedom was really like a big tag for them of finding light within themselves again, of freeing themselves from their story, from their old story, and making room for wherever they wanted to move to have the space to do that, and the energy and the power and the strength, because you really always need to clear first the field. And the field is like the past. The past needs to move out to have further ground, to put and plant the seeds, to have something grow.
Something new, something different, right? So, you know, it's this wonderful gift that you first received, and then now you get to give over and over again. And we're really interested in doing this work and making a difference, and knowing that more money, while it's useful and helpful, and we want you to have more and we want you to have enough, it's not the answer to everything. You can't just go out and create a life saying, I'm going to become a millionaire and then my life will be perfect. because it's just not true. No matter where you go, there you are. And whatever you're holding and whatever the pain and shame or patterns or whatever it is, and we all have them because most of these dynamics are hardwired in the brain before we're even young adults. And so therefore, these patterns are influencing us every day. We just aren't aware and or haven't had enough pain yet and suffering to wake up one day and say, okay, enough already. I'm not doing this like this anymore. And what can I do to get help and support? Because in the end, every single day is an opportunity to do something differently and to make a choice to change. And would you say that money coaching was easy?
No.
Yeah. So it's not easy. We want you to know that. But anything worth doing, you know, in the end requires effort and commitment. And it's not an easy process, but it's one of the most valuable and profound processes, and it will change your life if you're ready to change. And that's really what matters. And, you know, whether you want to be coached and just to have the experience of coaches, we have over 2,000 coaches in 38 countries around the world now. And we also train people so they can do this, those who feel moved and inspired. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. This isn't, you know, let's help everybody become a millionaire. If that happens, wonderful. I want to hear all about it. It's just not what we do, and it's not why we do anything. We're here to really help transform lives. And as we individually change our own story and our own experience, we actually create a ripple in the greater world. And ultimately, we might be able to shift the very highly dysfunctional money dynamics that are causing much suffering around the world. There is more than enough. There is abundance in the world. We don't have a shortage of anything. We do have, however, a consciousness issue, and we have a distribution problem. But these are things that if we step into a different conversation and we begin to talk about the real part of this, and we decide that we want to heal individually and collectively and make better choices for ourselves and our families and for the planet, quite frankly, it's imperative at this point, then we can all be a part of a movement and a greater story. And we're building that one person, one day at a time here at the Money Coaching Institute. Julia has now joined me, and I want to thank you for being here today. And I want to thank you for listening to conversations about money. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.